What up, everybody? BMF Season 4, Episode 3, Meech and Terry came up with an idea to start their own record label after going to Purdy's video shoot and seeing how business in the music industry is done. Meech let Purdy borrow the cars they used in the video free of charge, but found out that the jewelry and other things that were used in the music video were rented by the label, and Purdy had to pay them back out of her own pocket. So Meech wants to get into the music industry to help the artist and also use it as an opportunity to meet new connects on the other side for the drug game. And Meech and Terry's first move in the music industry will be trying to sign Purdy to their record label. And in season 4, episode 4, we'll see Meech, Terry, Purdy, and Tita attending the 1995 Source Awards. But the fact that we're going to be getting into the year 1995 in the next episode lets us know that time has been moving fast since the start of the season, and there could be a potential time jump going into the next episode or at some point during the next episode, because in episode 1, Nicole graduated, and in real life, Nicole Flannery graduated in 1992. Then at the end of episode 3, Loco mentioned the death of Pablo Escobar, who in real life died December 2nd, 1993. And now in episode 4, we have confirmation that the year will be 1995 from Meech and them all going to the 1995 Source Awards. Meech and Terry are going to the Source Awards with two agendas. The first is to promote their artist, Purdy, and their second is to find new connects to expand their drug operation. Keeping in mind that in season 3, Meech attended the Jack the Rapper event in Atlanta, Georgia, when he connected with Jay Pusha, who is in Atlanta for the event. Meech also met Tupac at the Jack the Rapper event and smoked a blunt with him, and ultimately a brawl broke out at the event that started between Tupac and somebody from Luke's crew from Miami, and escalated into Meech and his crew also fighting with the Miami Killers and a couple guys from the Techwood crew. But while Meech was talking to Tupac and smoking a blunt with him, Tupac was going through the beef with Luke and the Miami crew at the time, and he let Meech know that there was beef in the rap game, just like there was beef in the streets. Getting us to the 1995 Source Awards, and probably one of the most famous beefs in rap history, the beginning of the East Coast West Coast rap war between Suge Knight and Death Row Records, and Diddy, known as Puff Daddy at the time, and Bad Boy Records, and Tupac, who later escalated this beef, saying that Biggie was behind him getting shot at a studio in New York, wasn't at the 95 Source Awards because he was in jail at the time after being falsely accused on some charges. Some of the artists at the 95 Source Awards included Puff Daddy and the Notorious B.I.G., and Biggie performed on stage at the 95 Source Awards with Diddy on stage with him, like a dancer or something like that. Then Suge Knight was there from Death Row, and of course, being booed by the audience because the 95 Source Awards was held in New York City at Madison Square Garden. When Suge got on stage, he gave the famous speech talking about come to death row if you don't want your CEO dancing in your music videos and everything like that. And everybody knows he was talking about Diddy at the time, even though I think later on he said he was talking about Jermaine Dupri. Snoop Dogg also won an award at the 1995 Source Awards. And because he was a member of Death Row Records, he also got booed. But Snoop, not trying to get involved in the East Coast, West Coast beef, asked the crowd that they don't have love for Snoop Dogg. And a breakthrough moment for the city of Atlanta, hip hop took place at the 95 Source Awards when Outkast, Andre and Big Boy won the award for Best New Artist. And they were also booed by the New York crowd, and Andre let everyone know at this point that the South had something to say. And since that point, the South, and the city of Atlanta specifically, has taken over the rap scene. So this will also be a big moment for Meech because the fact he's based out of the city of Atlanta and the role he plays in promoting artists from that area. Because in real life, I've heard that there's a lot of artists who owe their careers to Meech because I don't know if he actually started a record label at this point in time or not, but he was supporting a lot of artists' careers financially, paying for their promotion and things like that. But other notable artists at the 95 Source Awards include Bone Thugs and Harmony, the Wu Tang Clan, The Brat, MC8, and Aaliyah, and more. And with that said, I also wonder if the character Purdy could possibly be inspired by Aaliyah. And at least going off the series, this will be both Meech and Terry's first time in New York. Getting me to Meech and Terry's order of business at the 95 Source Awards. Like Meech connected with Jay Pusha at the Jack the Rapper event in season 3. Who will be the big connection that Meech and Terry make at the 95 Source Awards? And I think this is when Meech and Terry will first meet and connect with Diddy, his bodyguard Wolf Jones, and since Biggie Smalls was still alive at this time, they might also meet him as well because we know that Meech and Terry later have some kind of friendship with Diddy at some point in time because there's pictures of Meech and Diddy together, as well as the fact they will connect with Diddy's bodyguard, Wolf, on the drug side of things. Because in the Terry Flannery documentary teaser, he said that he was giving Wolf around 5 to 10 kilos at a time to sell. Terry also said that him and Meech had a very close friendship with Wolf Jones and that they considered him like family. But we all know what happened with the whole Wolf Jones situation and how it pretty much was the beginning of the end of BMF. Wolf Jones started a problem with Meech in a club one night because Meech was with a girl that Wolf Jones used to date. And when Wolf Jones and his friend who was with him got kicked out of the club, they waited for Meech and his crew in the parking lot. And when Meech and his crew were walking out, a gunfight broke out when Meech got shot and Wolf Jones and his boy were both killed. And Meech was ultimately charged for double murder and put on house arrest. But after some time, the case was dismissed because Meech wasn't the shooter. But the damage from this whole situation had been done, and around this time is when BMF split up, and Terry took his crew and rebranded as 263. But of course, like B. Mickey, Lamar Marquisha, and other characters, the names of Diddy and other artists who Meech could possibly meet at the 95 Source Awards will most likely be changed. But some artists might also give the show permission to use their name and likeness, like how in season 3 Shadur Sanders played his father, Dion. And because of the beef between 50 Cent and Diddy in real life, I also wonder how bad they'll make the character that's inspired by Diddy look when he's introduced in this series. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.